they actually blind banned Pebbles, and it was Gunblade, but you do see Bryce stepping up and saying that was supposed to be Tundra.
Which is funny because Tundra is nowhere near Gunblade.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Maybe it like random banned for him. I don't know. I've never seen that happen. But
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it actually did random, but
good sportsmanship by MUFC to accept that. And
yeah,
let them go ahead and ban a Tundra over Gunblade.
But how about Cthulhu fought Warbeast? I mean, MUFC's like, you know what, Bryce, you play those heroes so well. We're not gonna let you have them. Talk about respect.
Yeah, it's just not letting teams get their comfort heroes. It's really important. When it's like playing Fnatic, and you're like, let's ban your Aluna Behemoth or something like that. Those are their comfort heroes. Against TT Esports, it's like, let's ban your Valkyrie and Scout. Yeah, those are their comfort heroes, and those are the heroes they like to play and are successful with because they've run them so much. So, it is definitely a respect ban though, and Bryce plays those heroes very well. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, very interesting to see those two in the blind ban stage. But you're right. I mean, it's signs of respect being shown, and for very good reason. As even just a last game, let alone against other opponents earlier on in this tournament. So, seeing those blind bans, now the locks, of course, coming out. We do have Bubbles, the first lock here by MUFC, then it goes to Aluna Wretched Hag for Vitriolic, and then back to Silhouette Electrician for MUFC, and now the final lock, actually, to come for Vitriolic. We'll see if Vitriolic maybe throws a Dark Lady or Mage Bane in there, figuring that MUFC could actually snatch up Silhouette and take that, again, one of the trio of those hard carries, as you put it, but there's still a final lock to happen here from Vitriolic. So we'll see what they go with, and it's going to be Fade, actually. So going with the Fade lock here.
Yeah, damn it, I always hate it when they get bugged because I can't actually see the heroes that are locked. Hopefully that can get fixed. But, yeah, I think Fade is kind of like one of those heroes now it's getting very popular because you can play it in different roles, as well as you can play it as a safe haven just in case they do pick a Mage Bane. Actually, Mage Bane is banned there. So, but Fade in his own regard, other than the fact that he counters Mage Bane very well, is still a very strong hero. So it's a very good overall, strong hero that a lot of teams are running, and so I like that pick there. The bans have come out though. Mage Bane, as I said, coming out from MUFC. Tempest followed up, and then Ophelia, as well as Glacius, and a lot of these are going back fast. Dark Lady is banned. So if they do go with that good strategy of banning the two of the three hard carries and then picking one for yourself, it's a very great strategy. I love to see that.
Yeah, and then, of course, that leads to Vitriolic. How do they respond to that? You still got your Forsaken Archer on the board. There are still other carries, of course, but, again, not maybe that god tier of trinity of hard carry, those three heroes in Silhouette, Dark Lady, and Mage Bane, but still some options, so we'll see now what Vitriolic decides to go with as a result of seeing those bans there. Magnus was the final ban. Snap first pick Nymphora coming out from MUFC, so obviously not going to see the Nymphora Pebbles combination, but even as you put it last game, I mean, Nymphora alone as a hero is just so powerful because of that ultimate, just so mobile, and will be very useful for really any makeup that she's with. So strong first pick here, as Moraxis is going to be counted with Vitriolic, and still waiting on their second pick. But yeah, so seeing the Nymphora first pick here.
I love it. I mean, the hero is so good. I think more and more teams are really valuing that hero as kind of a god tier hero, because it is. The ultimate, I stress this time and time again, it's one of the best spells in the game. It's very, very hard to farm against that, but they are going to go for kind of a very aggressive lineup on the Hellwar team, and I think that's the strategy to go against, especially when you have a good idea that they might be playing a hard carry that's going to be Rising for the majority of the time in that Silhouette. So I like the ideas coming out from Vitriolic.
Yeah, that's a very good point to bring up. And again, for Vitriolic especially, and really, and again, I keep saying bringing up Bryce because just an awesome player to watch. And the thing with Bryce as well, he also has a great strategic mind, I think, at least, when it comes to being very unique with his heroes, when it comes to very, thinking beyond the box, which a lot of teams and captains, it seems like, don't do as much as they really should, frankly. So, and they, with that said, they are also, his teams that he's at least a part of are known for being somewhat aggressive at times as well. So, this could definitely fit right into that comfort zone, as you so well put it, so far to start things off. The MUFC, they're going to follow up with Polywog Priest and Torturer, actually, here. So bringing the Torturer to solo or support, but then Plague Rider right away responded by Vitriolic. So it's almost as if they just figured they wanted him and hope that MUFC didn't pick him up, which they didn't. So
You know, it's funny. I've been saying for a long time that Plague Rider Suicide bottom people just stopped doing it. I was like, why? And this is so strong, and we're seeing a resurgence of the solo Suicide Plague Rider, and there's a reason it's so strong. He's got the high movement speed, so against 2, it's hard to kill him. He has the deny, so the wave always gets pushed back. And of course, you have the ultimate. As long as you're active with that ultimate, as soon as it's up and you're actually getting those off in fights, that hero was amazing.
Yeah.
The drawbacks with it is he's very easy to kill in team fights, especially when you run him Suicide, because he normally can't farm that much. I mean, he gets a decent amount because the lane's pushed up. But, you know, there are picks going on in the background. Silhouette's picked up first by MUFC, then followed up with a Bubbles. Bubbles and a Luna. So the full lineup there for Vitriolic, and one more pick between the Fade, Electrician, and Hag to choose from, and they go with the Hag. So, some kind of funky lanes a little bit. And maybe if they'll do a Suicide Hag, but I feel like that's really weak. I don't know. They got some decisions to make in MUFC.
Yeah, I would assume it is going to be a tri-lane for MUFC with the Tortured and for a Silhouette, but then, as you said, you know, sending the Suicide Wretched Hag to the long lane, and that could be struggling for him at times. So we'll see how MUFC decides to go about it. And I was actually intrigued before that Wretched Hag pick came out. I was wondering actually Fade, because that could have given them an M4 Fade combination.
Yeah.
The 3 stress is actually very, very powerful. And then maybe laying like a Silhouette Torture and then Polywog Priest solo. But they do go with the Wretched Hag. So we'll see how MUFC now sets their lanes up, as well as Vitriolic. Of course, they too, nothing is 100% certain, but you get an idea. Probably going to see a Bubbles Plague Rider solo with the Moraxis Luna lane, and then of course Parasite either in his own jungle or the opposition. We'll see where they place him.
Yeah, and it looks like Moraxis Luna walking towards the mid. Luna does have 2 wards on her, so it's not for certain where she's going to go. Probably in the mid lane with Moraxis, though. Suicide, Plague Rider bottom, and then a Bubbles solo top. And I actually, I don't know about these lanes too much from Hellborn. I would have liked to see the Moraxis just get complete free farm at the top. Now, he is going to farm very, very well in the mid, and they actually might be able to net some kills on the Polywog Priest if he does decide to go mid. But this is kind of making a risk of Bubbles against Hag. Hag does have the potential to kill Bubbles. Bubbles should definitely win, but he does have the potential. I'd rather have lanes that for sure crush. So I think MUFC is going to have the better hand here.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, just the theory crafting is one step, though, then it actually comes down to executing, so we'll see how both the teams do when it comes down to that. You see the Courier did spot them running up right here, and uh-oh, we could have a gang coming out. Oh, this could be big here for MUFC if they play this well. You see the Courier kind of scouting out some more and distracting them, but that did make Vitriolic maybe fall back a little bit and not taking the jump, so seemed like MUFC may have had a second or two there to try to make something happen, but they choose not to. And now they're going to start spreading out to their lanes, you know, getting an idea at least of what the opposition will be running and whether or not they'll actually stick to it. But yeah, they are going to start spreading out. It looks like it is going to be Silhouette and for a bottom. Torturer actually heading middle right now. And I'm guessing, or I guess looks like he actually just placed an award right there. And we'll see where he ends up, but yeah, they don't capitalize on what a chance at least they had at the bottom lane, so not able to make the best of it. But it does end up falling out to the lanes, and yeah, Torturer Polywog Priest. I mean, this is again kind of unique here. They ran Glacius Polywog Priest last time, so
I think this has a little bit more potential, seeing how it is on Luna Moraxis and on Nymph Pebbles. They can still live if like they decide to go on somebody, because it's a little bit, it's not as bursty as Nymphora Pebbles, but yeah, still kind of weird. Bubbles did get kind of basically a free wave up here against the Hag, so he's already going to be at a great start, especially in a lane that he's already supposed to win. And in the bottom lane, we have Silhouette with assistance from Nymphora there. They do get the double stack, so that's going to be a huge deal. They did not get a chance to ward that, so despite them not getting a kill here in the near their jungle in the bottom here from MUFC, they were able to successfully negate Vitriolic from placing a ward there and then defending the pole. So they're going to have that to use, and that's very, very important against a Plague Rider, especially because she always has that deny, and so she has great lane control, and this is going to help them get that right back. So good job there by Wins.
Yeah, you see Wins doing a great pull after the double stack, and sure enough, the lane will be pushed back now in favor of Silhouette because of that. I see Plague Rider hitting level 2 at that mark. In fact, right away throwing out a Contagion, letting Silhouette know that she ain't going to have a free time against him by any means, but again, Silhouette's farm should actually be pretty solid throughout this early game phase. But yeah, you talked about Bubbles, a start that he's already had against Red. I mean, look at this, already level 3 Bubbles against a level 1 Hag. man, that's in a 1 versus 1 situation. That is not good. You see Wretched Hag barely just hitting level 2 right there. But Bubbles, no doubt, winning this middle, or top lane, excuse me, so far. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, actually, Polywog Priest in a little bit of trouble. Are we going to see that Quake stun? Hex there on him, but he got stunned by Luna at the same time. So wasn't able to run away. The final attack uphill and misses, actually. And he will survive. Oh, wow, the final axe nearly hit, but not going to. Torture comes in with the chain reactions. Not going to follow up with a kill. See the electric jolt even being used. But Polywog Priest, man, lucky that uphill attack missed.
I know, that definitely would have been his demise, or at least been extremely close, but yeah, very, very lucky that that miss happened. But you see that they did a really good job here in the mid, realizing that Torture was gone. He was checking that rune, and they capitalized on him. That's what you got to do. And actually, Bubbles and Hag going at it. Hag blinking away, but yeah, Bubbles is going to have such a great time. He's already level 4. Hag is only level 2. Now Hag does have a couple of creeps on his way to give him extra experience, but then again, so does Bubbles. So yeah, Dark Wanix doing really well up in this top lane.
Yeah, he is again dominating really.
As he should. As he should.
12 and 13 compared to a 1-1 Hag. I mean. Not.
Yeah, I want to make that clear. It's not like, oh my god, this Hag is doing so bad. Bubbles should win. Like, Bubbles should crush, especially in the fact that, you know, he got basically a free wave of experience over Hag. So, it's not, yeah, again, I want to reiterate that. It's not that Hag's doing anything wrong necessarily. Hag or Bubbles should be crushing, but I'm just simply stating that he's doing very well up here.
Yeah, just at least that's where, you know, where Dark Wanix, you say the pressure's on him, if anything, because
yeah,
you know, if he's not dominating, then he is doing something wrong, so... but yeah, so he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, so that is good news for Vtrl. Speaking of that, Parasite, he hasn't necessarily been too aggressive just yet. Obviously, still early on in the game, but you know, from time to time we see Parasite players even right away go for a kill. But he started in his own jungle, is now in the Legion jungle, and actually does pick up a Catman champion. Aluna coming over here with him. I believe Aluna, though, was spotted by the Ward of Sight, so that is giving Silhouette and Nymphora enough time to run back, and you see right there, they're going to get back to the tower just before, so actually very good heads up right there. Excellent map awareness coming out from MUFC, and they prevent the gank attempt, at least, from happening. Now, of course, they know Aluna's missing, so I wonder if more Axis may be in a little bit of trouble, but actually Hastrun up top is going to be bottled by Polywog Priest, who is still level 3, actually. You know, he was able to stay alive and prevent the Bloodlust kill, but he's somewhat struggling when it comes to levels, at least so far. And again, for farm, for that matter. I mean, his farm release in the grade, it's only a 10 and 4. Bottom lane, we do see Parasite actually getting caught right here. Perhaps a Bloodlust kill coming, a nice block, and Silhouette actually wins right there in Nymphora. Will get credit for the kill, and Aluna gonna get caught out now as a hasted Polywog Priest runs in. There's a chain reactions coming out, and Kiddo on that Silhouette will pick up the kill. So great start here for now for MUFC. Top lane, Bubbles nearly taking out Wretched Hag, but Hag's able to blink away in time, so good find in their own jungle. Yeah,
that was a great job. Kiddo was able to eat the tree where, you know, his main pole camp, and then kind of go around very quickly on the Parasite. Didn't even need to use the tree grapple. The great Zeal Stun hit openly from, who's that playing there? That Wins. So great job by Wins, setting up that kill onto Bryce. So yeah, good little start there for MUFC. Very needed.
Yeah. A good momentum burst for them, and on that note, Silhouette, 300 plus gold per minute now all of a sudden, and Turf Farm is starting to really, not necessarily take off, but she is on a very, very comfortable lead here early on in this game. You know, she's got the boots, bring a teacher, another 800 plus gold saved up, so perhaps that live tube going to be purchased ASAP. And then going on from there, you know, Nullstone obviously a very powerful item, especially against a hero like Parasite, so wouldn't be surprised to see that first item choice here from Kiddo on Silhouette. But we'll see what it is when it's all said and done. But back to the top lane, I mean, you see Bubbles again, just dominating. 25 and 21, so not only just doing an excellent job with the creep kills, but he is denying so much experience as well from this Wretched Hag, who's still only 4 and 2. Just, again, struggling, expected, but still worth noting. In fact, Bubbles going to the camp field a fraction of a second too late, and Wretched Hag will live because of that. Man, Bubbles had a kill right there if he just hit that camp field a couple fraction of a seconds earlier.
Well, he used the Shell Surf first and the Kelp Field after. If he just used the Kelp Field, it forces Wretched Hag to either blink out and get stunned or walk around and do nothing. Usually they will do the form and they'll blink out and get stunned, which makes it a very, very easy aim for that Shell Surf. So big misplay there by Dark Wanix, unfortunately.
Just giving him so much credit for dominating. Yeah, definitely missing a kill opportunity there. So that's where you got to give credit also to CY for getting away and avoiding the kill fill that was to follow the Shell Surf as we saw. Middle lane, I was talking about this a little bit. I mean, Polywog Priest 15-6 compared to a 17-4 Moraxis. So seems like it's actually pretty back and forth. But is that surprising to you that Polywalk Priest maybe isn't doing better than the stats show?
I think she's doing just fine, actually. She has had some aggression here from Luna. Luna also, in her own regard, has been walking around and trying to roam. But it's hard for her to farm unless she's spamming out. I imagine it's going to get much easier now that she's level 5, and that spam does a lot more damage, so it's going to be easy. Like right here, she's probably spam. No, she doesn't need to. Oh, she missed that creep kill, actually. But if things are going to get easier for her, actually, Nymph4 is hoarding, or kind of servicing around this mid lane here. Maybe a kill coming out here. Initiation coming out into the Torture, actually. Great Zeal Stun as well. As, oh my god, he will fall, though, to the Aluna. And Meraxis says, I'm Meraxis. He flops his ulti, and they're going to try to do some aggression onto the Polywalk Priest. Your Bry's taking a lot of damage, though. And he, the power supply at the last second, and he uses the ultimate. Wow! Wow, big man up there coming up from Bryce, using the ultimate as he almost died there.
Wow.
Wow, that was so close.
Man, talk about it. That timing could not have been any better in several cases, especially coming up from Bryce on Parasite. Not only was it good timing for him to be there to initially be in that fight and set up the what could have easily been a kill on Meraxis to help turn things around, but yeah, the timing on that face hug and the man-up mode at the last second guaranteed the double tap kill. That was actually by Zaxarok there on Meraxis. And big turnaround happening there in the middle lane. So just like that, now a 3-2 hero kill advantage all of a sudden in favor of the Hellborn team. And Meraxis farm definitely jumping up quite a bit because of that.
Yeah, big man-up award there goes to Bryce. It's really well played. First surprised me with that power supply at the last second. And that is exactly how you guys need to use it, by the way. Don't use it early on. Use it when the enemy thinks they have a for sure kill, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to back away after that last auto attack. And so great job there. And Plague Rider actually will follow the auto attack from Kiddo, but it will be his demise. So great response there from the rest of Vtrl's team, able to support that Plague Rider. Maybe not in time, but good pickup kill on a Silhouette. Probably the most important kill.
Yeah, it's definitely a case. You really can't discredit Kiddo by any means for dying right there. And that was just him. He got the kill, but obviously that was just a case of just great response coming out from Vitriolic. And they did use 3 ports actually to do that. In Bubbles, Aluna, and Parasite, but they got the counter kill, so it definitely paid off. And now they're going to apply some pressure to the tower here, even just after the invulnerability wears off. So Legion team, they'll have to make a decision here. Silhouette has resurrected. She does have a homecoming stone, as does Nymphora, but other than that, no one has one currently. So they're just going to lose this bottom tower. So not only does Silhouette get taken out, but they push all the way through the tower. And what used to be actually a slight gold lead here for the Legion team early on in this game is all of a sudden swayed to a 3,200 gold lead on top of a 4,000 experience lead even for Vitriolic. So they're really starting to look good. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, nice war trap there by Nico Case playing the Polywalk Priest, happening onto Moraxis. Of course, we talked about that Nico Case on Polywalk Priest last game. He didn't do so well when it came to dying quite a bit, but a good trap right there and sets up an easy kill. Unfortunately out of tower range, but still.
Yeah,
they get the kill.
This is a very much needed kill. Torture is going to go ahead and use that impalement there. It's only level 1 to do some damage to the tower as the glyph does come out, so I don't think they're going to take this. Some action and aggression coming out onto Silhouette down here. Does have a TP, is getting pursued by 2 heroes. Uses that tree grapple, but I think he's going to be in trouble here. The stun comes out from Aluna as well as all the spam. The ultimate even used by Plague Rider, and yeah, actually Aluna almost got turned on there. The power of that Death Lotus coming out from Silhouette almost caught him the counter kill, but he will fall in the end.
Yeah, that was, definitely some aggression there from Kiddo, pushing all the way out there after the tower was destroyed. And the 2 problems with that. One is, of course, you don't have that tower to sit behind and protect yourself. But the other big thing is that nowhere for his support to port to be able to help him. What was a mass dive right there coming out from Vitriolic. So really, again, definitely kind of a questionable moment coming up from Kiddo there on Silhouette, and whether he really even should have been in there. Should have been there in the first place. But at the same time, good capitalization by Vitriolic. And Parasite leading the way, eventually helping to get the kill there onto Silhouette. So yeah, the lead extends a little bit as a result of that, and that sucks for MUFC because that's really what they had going strong for them this game was that farm on Silhouette. I mean, we talked about it. She was over 300 gold per minute there early on in this game. She did get her steam boots early on. She has a Ring of Teacher, but she's been sitting on those items since she's picked them up now for a good 3 or 4 minutes, and it is showing here with this GPM chart as I have pulled up all across the board, just struggling really. Where on the other hand, for Vitriolic, you got Bubbles doing fantastic here by Dark Wanix, of course, and then trailing off from there, but still not too bad. So MUFC once again finding themselves in a little bit of a deficit here earlier on in the game.
Yeah, and I think it really goes back to this Plague Rider pick. It's very difficult. Say if this Plague Rider was something like a Bubble bottom, and Nymphora is able to sit behind him at the very beginning of the game and just trade auto attacks and let Silhouette do her farming thing without pulling any kind of creeps. You can control the lane very, very well, but against a Plague Rider with that deny, you cannot. It's so hard. The creep wave is always going to get pushed up towards him, and he's going to get free experience. And it's hard to gank a Plague Rider when the wave is closer to his tower, and that's why this hero is so. Like I said, yeah, I think we're going to see a big resurgence of this hero because it's very good against this kind of sit back and farm carry style.
Oh, we see Nymphora. She went for the deny attempt, and as a result of that, they spotted the auto attack. They eventually chased her down. Torture not getting caught as well, and Torture will fall. So MUFC falling apart here in the middle lane. A good couple of pushes happening, as well as the tower kill. Meanwhile, at the top side, Wretched Egg and Polywog Priest, they do at least get a little bit of counter in the sense of taking out a tower themselves, which is actually their first tower kill of the game. So some good news there for MUFC, but still Vitriolic playing big time very well here early on. I actually like that play by Zaxxor. Again, he spotted the auto attack that came out from Nymphora attempting to deny the tower. He then dove into the jungle. It looked like he was going to turn around at the last second, but finally saw her, and then followed it up, of course, and got the eventual kill. So again, just great aggression coming out from Vitriolic, as you would expect. As Silhouette, she was also trying to do her thing at the bottom lane, again recovering a little bit slightly in the farm. She has picked up her life too, but still long ways to go. And it does start also with the stacks in the Legion jungle. I haven't necessarily been paying full attention to that, but you see right now all across the board, only currently single stacks happening for, I guess not even stacks in that sense, just single spawns here in the Legion jungle. So not able to necessarily maximize her farm as the lane is pushed up at bottom and going into the jungle here.
Yeah, that is one of the great things about Silhouette, is you can always farm the jungle, but unfortunately there are no stacks available to her. That's unfortunate. I think there is actually a double stack in the Ancients, but that's a little bit more difficult for level 8 Silhouette to take out, especially that has only, how much life does she have? 900 max life, 929. So, yeah, her farm is not what we want it to be right now, and Vitriolic's doing a very good job. Like I said, their lineup is much more aggressive, and that's what you have to do against these hard carry lineups.
Yeah. So, you would think for MUFC, not necessarily that. I was just about to say, you think that their pace of the game is going to want to be, let's slow this down a lot and just try to have Silhouette recover, but I mean, they do have a very aggressive team themselves. You got your Hag, your Polywog Priest, of course, and Nymphora, who is still level 5, so no ultimate going to be coming out for her, but I guess on that point as well, that's where how much more of an impact that Wretched Egg and Polywog Priest haven't been having is definitely playing a huge role here. Silhouette struggling one thing, but to have the support, especially with those two heroes not doing too well themselves, it's just, how do you recover here if you're MUFC? I mean, they are going to go for the triple stacked Ancients now without Silhouette. Oh, she's actually coming in right here. It's actually a good job by the Legion team, doing a lot of damage early on and going to allow her to come in and hopefully clean it up and boost up her GPM quite a bit right here. Is actually not getting, missing a couple of the kills even. The support actually getting credit for it, so. But spreading out the wealth, I guess you could say. And just like that, she does jump up to around 290 gold per minute. So actually, it does help up quite a bit right there. She's got now her sustainer finished at least. But
yeah, and everybody take note about how much gold that really shoots you up from doing triple stack Ancients. And just think if they did that all game, starting off and even as early as like 10 minutes or something. If you're stacking Ancients, you're tripling them, and you come over and it's okay to farm them as a team. Yes, you're going to get the Gimp experience, but someone's going to get all that gold. It doesn't even matter at like really who it is, but the fact that triple stack Ancients is something like if they're all Predastars, I want to say like 900 gold, almost 1,000 gold. It's a lot of gold early on, and when you think of like so and so, it's 10 minutes in, they're at a 2K gold lead, so doing pretty good. Think about that. That could be that window could feel much shorter, and it could be a 1K gold lead. So it's a very big deal, and I think when more teams realize that, yeah, Hag actually blinking away there, almost could have gotten killed there by the Parasite had he chosen the ultimate, but will kill away. But yeah, triple stack Ancients are very important, and can't stress that enough.
Yeah, and on that note, as I was watching the Parasite attempt, I was a little bit curious why he didn't face hug first, actually, to obviously silence Hag and then have the follow-up that was coming. That's why he jumped in right there. But went for the leech first. Hag was very quick to react, though, and able to be fine. But they do get the tower kill, of course, so big things happening right there. You see Parasite, he is in the Ballista, so all 5 are here from Vitriolic right now. Now, kind of a good response here. Obviously pushing the middle lane as well as the bottom lane while this is happening. Polywog Priest does have wards, but this tower is so low, so probably not even necessary. And Silhouette pushing the bottom lane secondary tower, actually. Look at all the ports still happening for the Hellborn team. They come in. Polywog Priest is going to get caught right here. So they got the tower kill, but it does cost them both of their lives as Poliwag and Hag fall. Now, Silhouette, all those homecoming stones were used, so she knows that she can actually sit up here for a little bit longer, perhaps, and go for a kill as long as she spots them on the minimap, and that's what she's going to kind of do. Now, she doesn't have her ultimate up right now, so this is a little bit risky, but she is going to get it, as we see right there with the final auto attack, and homecoming stone poured out seconds after. So, not too bad there, as Kiddo's farm, 363 go per minute. You stress those Ancients, how big of a deal that is, and a couple tower kills later, and went from 200 to 362 gold per minute within, it seemed like 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, the only thing about the team composition of Hellborn, though, is that, say, Silhouette could have, like, 600 gold per minute, but if her team doesn't have the necessary items to live in these jumps and these team fights, it doesn't matter, because all of these, like, AoE spells, all this silence coming out, all these stuns coming out from the Hellborn team, is just going to demolish your team regardless how much farm you have on Silhouette. Yeah. So it's, yes, you know, there's signs of life there for MUFC with the good farm that they have up on Silhouette, but I don't really think it's going to have that big of an impact, because she can't 1v5 this Hellborn team, and not anytime soon. Yeah. So Vtrl doing a good job there. Mikey is placing the ward at Kong, as well as double stacking those Ancients, so good job right there. Codex now picked up there by Parasite, level 2 actually. I missed even level 1, so he's going to be doing a lot of burst damage to pretty much all these heroes.
Yeah, and that's scary. It's scary news here for the Legion team, because you do look at the Legion side and they don't really have a beefy presence. I mean, all very squishy. And on that note, everyone has under 1,000 life, at least currently right now. We do see Nullstone has been finished on Silhouette, and as I said earlier, obviously a very good tool against a hero like Parasite. But still, you nullify, say, the Leech, you're still getting face hugged and Codex right after for a good chunk of damage, and he can still very likely get the kill, even without the Leech.
Right.
Yeah, very, very dangerous here for the Legion team, knowing that. And you do see Vitriolic right now. We got Bubbles, Aluna, and Plague Rider all roaming around here down towards the Legion jungle. Now, Parasite was spotted by some wards. You got to hope that Silhouette saw that and is going to look to pour it out as soon as possible. He does have a homecoming stone. He has his ultimate as well, as he's just going to hide now. And will he actually pour it out? I mean, he's still kind of just sticking around, maybe waiting to see what happens. There he goes. He starts to pour it. Realizes that they're coming, so good getaway there. And good presence of mind from Silhouette, seeing them with the wards, because that's gonna continue to be a big role. We stressed the last game how that kind of was a big deal for MUFC, the lack of wards, especially in that middle lane. They really need wards against this very aggressive Vitriolic team.
Yeah, definitely, and it is very aggressive. They got the portal key up on Meraxis and Codex 2 on the Parasite there, and I will say that Nullstone is a great pickup. I think it is kind of necessary this game, but kind of like. Bubbles is basically anti-Nullstone. He really is. All of his spells work like against the idea of Nullstone. You don't have to trigger it to get all your spells and be effective. The silence goes through it. I mean, it's all AoE. The Kelp field is very, very good against heroes that want to go Nullstone. So that's why Shrunken Head is very good against Bubbles. And I think that should always signal a red flag when you have a Bubbles pick. It's like, do I really... I mean, I'm not questioning the Nullstone pickup, but I think Shrunken Head would have just been a little bit better. It should raise a red flag when you're playing against the Bubbles.
Well, we got some base, or some tower trading, I should say, going on right now, and almost some base trading, because the Hellborn team, they're going to actually start going into the base here, as they're pushing all the way into the bottom lane. Look at the quick ports over the Legion side, saying, oh, right, yeah, it's probably not worth a secondary for a base tower. So they're going to get back and try to make a response here. How's it going to work, though? They don't really have the strongest of initiations, especially with the lack of portal keys, so they're going to kind of have to chip away, and it is successful for now. Silhouette in the front lines. She does have her illusion to port to if need be. So going to be fun. Actually, wow, that's a big deal. I mean, the creep wave, able to push the top tower while that happened, so that worked out pretty good for MUFC there.
Yeah, they got basically a free tower, so now they didn't get the mid tower, which is where they were pushing, but they got a lot of damage onto it. Actually, it's down to 375 life. So that's a good job for them, and I will say that MUFC is not out of this. They do have a very, very strong carry in Silhouette, and he's got the top farm in the game, but they're going to kind of have to wait until they get a couple more pickups on him, like Portal Key, Shrunken Head. That's when I think they can really start fighting, unfortunately. So we might see much more passive play coming out from them, unless, Vtrl decides to do something here, and I think something was picked up here on the Hellborn side.
Pecan Bubbles.
Yeah, there we go. So that's I think the initiation that they really need to kind of close in this game.
On that note, look at how close Polywire Priest is to Portal Key. He's 8 gold, 7 gold, so he probably is going to purchase right here. In fact, you see he's at the well right now. So he's going to get his Portal Key. This tower is going to fall. There we go with the Portal Key purchase. A Legion team, though, as long as they see their X... Oh, wow, they even used a vulnerability there. That was actually a very interesting choice. I don't know about that, because now they're going to push into the base. And you might have wanted to save that for some Rax damage, but nonetheless, vulnerability's down, of course. MUFC, or excuse me, Vtrl, very aware of that, as they did see it just like we did. So now coming up to the 22-minute mark, already going to start applying pressure, but like we just saw, both teams now have that portal key initiation to work with as well. Well, I guess the Hellborn team that's already had it with Miraxes, but now they got even more. In fact, there we go. There's the follow-up. There's a great kill for the quick kill right there. The Blanco on top of the polar piece goes down. The Luna's dead, and Silhouette just trying to stay alive when it's all said and done. She's in the midst of it all. Splits up right there. That blast coming out. Actually, Parasite. Oh, Parasite will survive with the infest at the last second. That's what makes him so great. Silhouette trying to port away. Nice port out by Kiddo actually happening at the last second. So he is going to survive for now. Excellent support coming in. And oh, Bubbles up there. Oh, Bubbles won't fall, but he got the kill to Silhouette just prior to it. How many buybacks were used? Wretched Hag was actually the only one to use a buyback, it looked like. And I believe I said a Luna dive, but she ended up leaving, of course. So, very interesting, actually. Now, Hellborn team did dive quite a bit right there. You see both racks, though, full life, actually.
Yeah, I think that was actually both, played very well by both teams, actually. No one really misplayed. The Plague Ultimate did a lot of damage. The buyback did come from Wretched Hag, so that's good for Vitriolic. And great job by Dark Wonix, actually, at the very end there. I think he realized he actually might have been able to save himself, but I think dying for a trade for a kill on Silhouette is definitely worth it. And he spotted that opportunity and went in with a Shell Surf, was able to silence, and last hit auto attack onto him and got the kill. So good job there by Dark Wonix, and I think an overall one fight for Vitriolic.
Yeah, that was a very quick buyback from Wretched Hag, by the way. I mean, he was one that got caught with Polywog Priest, I believe it was, with a great initiation. So we just finished talking about that with Bubbles and more axes. We saw perfection of it really in that fight. Fall on top with the Plague, which was level 2 that fight, I believe. So yeah, a lot of damage coming out there. There's some quick kills. But again, that buyback with Wretched Hag definitely helps set up a turnaround. And you could argue that maybe Vitriolic overstepped the boundaries a little bit, but especially at the end there, you said that Bubbles going for the sacrifice to kill Silhouette. You can argue that it was worth it. So interesting fight there when it's all said and done. Now, after it's all said and done, we got Silhouette still remaining in the lead with GPM, 380 gold per minute. And Wretched Hag, despite that buyback, I mean, her GPM actually has continued to go up and up. She has now hit the 310 gold per minute mark, and she actually just finished her second Arcana. So she's getting close to Hellflower now. And, again, we stressed this earlier with the lack of support for this Legion team surrounding that Silhouette. It is starting to pick up now with Polywog Priest, of course, with our portal key going into that fight, which he wasn't able to use, obviously. But Wretched Hag, the Hellflower, very likely could be picked up going into the next fight here. So, good news coming out for MUFC as this game progresses on.
Yeah, that'd be a huge pickup, actually, and that would create an opportunity for them to actually get some ganks here with this Nymphora. You got the Hellflower pickup on the Hag. You find someone you can kill a lot of heroes actually on this Hellborn side. You can kill a Luna. You can snipe down Parasite. You can snipe down pretty much everybody but Miraculous with that Hellflower pickup.
Silhouette port, can Silhouette port, can Silhouette port, can Silhouette port. No, yes, she can't port. Whoa, she died. She died. How did that happen? Was it the Kelp field?
Well, I didn't see where her image was.
No, her image was way near the top rune.
Okay. I caught the very tail end of it, so I'm not quite sure, but maybe they just had just enough damage to go, and some of it kind of carried over with the port.
Yeah, it seemed like she got away in time, but yeah, I don't think the Kelp field was still up, so I don't know. Yeah, maybe that final auto attack from the double damage Bubbles did him in, but
I know sometimes when heroes die when it's very close, you can actually see a dead body in the well when they TP. When it's like very, very close. So it might have been one of those instances.
Yeah, it's like same frame instances, and that sucks for Kiddo because he obviously played that very well. He got jumped and he had the illusion ready to port to. It's just at the same time that's a big risk you take if you do rely on porting that illusion. It's if you get chain CC but with the silences and stuns like we saw, then you're not going to get to it in time. So big kill there from Vitriolic. Now Silhouette, she is up. So not necessarily the longest resurrection, still earlier on in the game, only 26 minutes in, but bigger and better items are being purchased. We just saw Hellflower finished on Wretched Hag. You stressed how important that's going to be here for MUFC. We have a Mighty Blade on Torturer, so you'd think a Shrunken Head going to be coming out of that. Codex, what level is Codex on Mr. Parasite? I'm trying to click on it, but I can't
see.
Of course. GG, I love that.
There it is. No, you can't.
You can't see on the far right either. Yeah, you have to click on him. But anyways, Plague God, of course, he has his Astrolabe for Wano, another 1,400 gold saved up, and they're going to push in the secondary tower. This is one of 2 remaining, so now only 1 secondary tower going to be up for MUFC now. Vitriolic, it looks like they may continue to go as well, so just keeping the aggression up here, especially with tower pushing.
Yeah, and actually interesting pickup there by Miraculous. he goes for a very late Helmet of Black Legion after you know, the portal key and the phase boots. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know if how I really feel about that. I feel like a Hellflower would have been just a little bit better to have a couple more CC items for that silhouette after that Nullstone gets procced.
Or at least some Mystic Vestments even. I mean, I know Polywog and Wretched Hag haven't been necessarily the biggest impact this game, but they're starting to build up as we just talked about, so.
I agree.
At least getting that, but goes home with the Black Legion, so 1,500 life on him right now. 2,200 gold on Bubbles, so after that tablet purchase that he's had for a while now.
Oh,
be going for his next item. Oh, they picked off. That was actually Wretched Hag. I unfortunately missed that, but they're also going to get Polywog. Priest looks like Silhouette is running in, but this is a case of you probably should just get the hell on out of there. This is not a fight you're going to be winning. Nice pulling right there from Torture, but what is the Legion team doing? The Plague goes out, Torture falls down, 4 goes down, and Silhouette's the lone survivor. She's going to port to her illusion, trying to make an escape here as she goes for the homecoming. So, but it cuts through the trees, and there's Yellow to stun, and this is going to be a genocide for Vitriol Gaming. Oh, it just all fell apart right there in a matter of seconds for MUFC there.
Yeah, I mean, they could have really minimized the amount of deaths, and we talked about this when we first started casting this tournament, is when someone on your team is getting caught, sometimes it's better to just let them be, let them die, and minimize the amount of casualties you're going to have in that team. And right there, you see a great combination between the Kelpfield and the Plague Ultimate. It works so well together that Kelpfield kept them into place, and then it basically keeps in the perfect range for Plague Ultimate, and that just decimated. I think it was Nymphora and Torture. Actually, some aggression coming out. The buyback on the Polywog Priest. He jumps in, places the wards, and Big Bad Bry's actually going to fall there. A lot of damage and AoE coming out. Great Zeal Stun coming out from Nymphora. Plague Rider is getting very, very blocked by these creeps, and the wards are coming out. Hat-trick coming out by Bond there, playing out Torturer. Great stun there from Luna, but actually I think, Dark Onyx off Bubble's going to fall. They're going to turn this around.
Counter Genocide.
Counter Genocide coming out, looks like, for the Legion side. Unbelievable.
Well then, I did not see that coming. I mean, totally, look at this. They're going to Nymphora port Silhouette as well to the top lane. Oh no, the middle lane, they're going to get to the tower as well. I mean, talk about change of momentum. That is ridiculous what just happened right there.
Huge.
It went to I'm sure you were feeling the same way. It felt like, honestly, after that fight, that Vitriol could have very likely, maybe pushed and even got to the point of ending this game in the near future. But MUFC, man, I mean, the buybacks, there was only one buyback. It was only Silhouette, actually. Everyone else just resurrected right there. And they completely turned that around. And I don't know if that was really Vitriolic playing poor positioning, more so just great positioning by MUFC and a good catch by them. So, man, well, genocide to a counter genocide. Not often you see that.
Yeah, I know. That's really funny. One thing to think about, though, is when you're continuing to push into the base, especially, this is relatively early on in the game, I would say. The heroes don't have very long respawn timers, like you mentioned. Is that once you're trying to push in, then you got to be aware of buybacks, and then over that, when you use all your big spells in team fights, very shortly after, it's a smart move by the other team to jump on them, being like, they don't have their spells, go on them. And that's exactly what MUFC did, and they really capitalized on that. And now Golden Experience Gap is very, very narrow now. It's only, actually, they did get a kill on the CY there. Good job by Zaxaruk. But now it's 2,700 gold and 43 experience, so, or 4,300 experience, excuse me. So it's much, much closer, and they are now back in this game.
Yeah, now what just happened right there was they made it very obvious that they have a ward of sight here. So I do wonder if the Legion team, specifically Nymphora, is going to come over and look to maybe counter-ward that, but don't see any of that happening right now. You still see about a little less than half time remaining on that ward of sight there. But anyways, it's kind of a small thing, but still a good catch there from the Hellborn side, of course, picking off Wretched Hag as she was trying to finish up a jungle creep, but Moraxis didn't let her do so. But Shrunken Head purchased by Torturer, and we saw the hat-trick that came out from him in that exchange last fight, or what ended up being the genocide. So, Bon on Torturer, I mean, he hasn't really had much of a presence this game, honestly, but after that last fight, I mean, 230 gold per minute, that Shrunken Head pickup, as I talked about, he's going to start becoming bigger and better himself, so... I believe it's now a level 5 codex, by the way, on Parasite here, so that's obviously so much damage coming out from that, as well as the additions that it comes with from leveling up. You do have Bubbles, 3,500 gold saved up on Bubbles, by the way. Here we go. Shrunken has been finished on Silhouette as well, and they're going to jump in. They're going to play with the play. Goo comes out, but the Shrunken Heads are activated, and this is a huge chance now for MUFC. Can they maximize the potential of these Shrunken Heads? In jumps Bubbles in the background. You see Silhouette and Torture trying to do whatever they can. Silhouette pounding in auto attacks now. The Shrunken Head has worn off, but they get the kill on the Parasite. Morax is in the front lines. Morax is in a lot of trouble, though. Polywalk Priest jumps back in after the buyback, and Moraxis will fall. You see Bubbles trying to run away. Is it going to happen? Yes, he shell surfs out, so it looks like it's going to be fine with both Plague Rider and Aluna. But again, solid hold there from MUFC, as obviously they've lost the racks with the melee racks, but still, they minimize the amount of damage, really, you can say. And actually porting up top, Plague Rider canceled the TP, and they're going to take the tower. This is the power of NIM4 for you, ladies and gentlemen. The melee racks is now dropping. Oh man, if they get a counteract chill, this is going to be huge. Do they have invulnerability? They probably do, but it's going to be last second right here. No, they don't. The melee Rex goes down. They make it the ranged Rex as well. MUFC, the comeback kings, apparently.
Wow, I have never ever seen this. Some great heads-up play there by Wins on that NIM4 to port them up there. I have never seen that in my life. A counter racks immediately after.
Yeah.
Boy, that was just using NIM4 to its full effectiveness right there. And great play by MUFC there. I can't. Wow, I'm at a loss of words.
Well,
amazing.
It's funny. You've never seen that before. I've never seen a counter genocide before. So not only do they have a counter genocide, but they have a counter racks. We saw right. I mean, that's just crazy comeback again play here from MUFC. And boy, oh boy, do we have a series now. I mean, obviously in game one, Vtrl just looked very strong in a mix of MUFC. Not really doing too well on their part, and obviously fell fairly quicker than. In that game one, so we now have Vitriolic up 1-0. You're going into game two, and once again, Vitriolic definitely got off to a great start. Now a little bit better for MUFC, but still struggling in places. But they've held their ground, and sure enough, here we are, 33.5 minutes in, and this is a game. I mean, there's I don't see either team having really a big advantage at this point by any means. Now, Kongor is going to be a big deal here, as we do see the Hellborn team, and they're going to get Kongor. Now, there is a ward of sight that spots all this. Oh, the NIM4 port. Here we go. This could get very interesting right now. Any jump's going to be happening. NIM4 will port in. You see the counter initiated by the Hellborn team. Torture gets off hard, but he gets that Shrunken out for time. Silhouette in the midst of it all. There's a tongue tied in the background onto Aluna with the wards down, and Aluna will fall. Morax is doing what he can in the foreground, but Torture is still somehow alive. And now Silhouette going to try to help her, but not going to be in time. Silhouette will have to start falling back now as Marcus got the kill. Nice quakes out from Moraxis. Now the wards nearby. Good Storm Spirit use. Polywalk Priest jumps back in. Actually, the Hex on a Plague Runner right there. And in jumps Bubbles out. Silhouette in a lot of trouble. She does port out with the illusion. Polywalk Priest going to fall right there, as the real Silhouette is actually running away with NIM4 right now. And of course, they cannot port in time. NIM4 going to try to escape right. Oh, she doesn't have a homecoming stone, but oh my god, Wins is somehow invisible apparently, as she is in this. Oh no, the Ancients! The Ancients! Oh, poor NIM4. She thought she had the chance. Oh, that sucks. The Ancients see her. And they're going to get Conquer now.
Bastard Ancients.
That's brutal.
That's funny. They're still kind of lurking around here. They still have that great ward of sight there from Wins, so they do have some kind of vision. Actually, Silhouette jumping in here, trying to make something happen, but now he's a little bit vulnerable. Low mana though on Moraxis. He only has oh my god, and there's the initiation from Bryce. That Codex just does so much damage, and Hag falls immediately. They're pursuing the Silhouette. The Null Stone is still up, but too much burst damage comes out. So oh no, again. This seems kind of like a little more the same thing with MUC. They have these good fights and good comebacks coming around, but then I feel like they lurk around a little bit longer than they should.
Yep, and TT Esports, perfect examples of that happen in game number 2, from item pickups to very questionable decision making in terms of going into team fights where he just really shouldn't have been involved in. And we are seeing a little bit of that here. So MUFC, man, they just gotta hold that down and not let that happen to them if they want to be victorious here in game 2, which they definitely have. They have reasons to be with the way that they're playing now. Look at the bigger picture of what just happened there as well. The ranged racks did go down as well at the bottom lane, so again, not a huge deal, but still helpful for the Hellborn team. But look at the base of the Hellborn side. The defensive tower at the Sacrificial Shrine actually has taken a lot of damage. It's already down to 315 life. It was taking damage for most of that Kongor fight there, so you get it, and we've seen the power of NIM4. You got a Polywalk Priest as well on top of that. I mean, you poured in Polywalk Priest, place those wards down. That's pretty much a free tower kill if you do it quick enough. So Yeah, that's where the saving grace could very likely be for MUFC, is that Nymphora, as it's again proven to be such a huge play so far.
Yeah, this has been a very entertaining game. I think it's just going to get even more entertaining with it. Like you mentioned, we could see some cheese fest coming out here between this Polywog Priest and this Nymphora. I've seen it before, and that would be a really funny way to kind of close out this game. The tower did take a lot of damage there, and they could potentially snipe it if they catch Vtrl kind of maybe waste their time in a team fight, maybe elongate a team fight, and then just kind of sneak in there with the Nymphora port and go down the Polywog wards. But I think that's going to be more of a last resort type of thing. They do have the harder carry, so I think they could just straight up maybe turtle this and maybe get some kind of win out of that. This is definitely in anybody's favor. It comes down to who plays this smarter and who plays this better.
Yeah.
Now they do have 2 buybacks gone now on Hag. That's a huge deal. As well as 1 buyback from Kiddo and a 1 buyback from Nick O'Kay's playing that Polywog Priest. So that definitely plays a deficit as this game starts to get more into the late game phase.
Yeah, those are great stats to bring up right there. That is a big deal. Wretched Hag completely out of buyback. So there we go. Wow. The creeps just take out the Sacrificial Shrine Tower, so it's not even necessary to backdoor it, apparently, as the Hellborn team, Vitriolic, not too concerned about it. They would rather just go for a 5-man push themselves, and that's exactly what they're doing right here. By the way, we see more Axis jumping in on a Torture. Can he get the Shrunken Head off in time? No, he cannot. The Hellfire's applied. Torture is dropping quickly, and yes, he'll end up going down. Now Shrunken Head is on a Silhouette, and now you see the return damage coming out a little bit right here. Parasite trying to get away, gets the combo on a Polywog Priest, and Polywog Priest will fall. Wretched Head comes back into the team fight with a Bat Blast, a great Bat Blast on top of that, where Axis will fall. Bubbles goes down. He does have the token of life, though, it's going to come right back up. Now Torture also bought back here, and they're going to turn this around on Bubbles, and Bubbles will go down. Where's Nymphora? Oh, Nymphora's dead. That sucks. That really sucks right now for the Legion team, because then he can make a big counter right here if she was up. But a hat trick coming out for Torture nonetheless. So Torture, great buyback in his part yet again, and they are going to push so this is definitely the right decision here.
Yeah, I mean, and the buyback used by Polywog, that is now his final buyback. So MUFC, they're definitely using their buybacks as they should, but it's getting a little scary now. They can't quite do that anymore, and I'm pretty sure Vitriolic's got to realize that, okay, these buybacks have got to be down now for at least some of these heroes. Hopefully they're keeping a tally mark so they know exactly who to go on now, because that's very smart, or very good information to have. If they know that Hag and Poly don't have buybacks, you kill them in fights, they're not coming back. They can't help anymore. So that's very important information to have. But they did hold off those racks, and they did get that, like you said, that base tower dead right in front of the Sacrificial Shrine. A little bit of damage taken on the other base tower as well. So yeah, this is getting very, very exciting, Breaky.
Man, if Nymphora was up right there, if she happened to be resurrecting quickly, this could have been so much worse, though, for Vitriolic. But at least they killed Nymphora, so no backdooring going on here from MUFC. So that is the good news, of course, for Vitriolic. But yeah, definitely great stand-in from MUFC, despite them having used buybacks. Obviously, that's what they're there for. I did see Warhammer purchased by Polywog Priest, so he's actually getting close to finishing his own Shrunken Head. So we're seeing plenty of those this game, at least for the Legion team, actually. With Torture and Silhouette, of course, already having that. And that's also another scary thing. And it has kind of shown. I mean, Silhouette, her damage output hasn't been the greatest, although, you look at the hero damage chart, and she happens to be in top, but it really hasn't been the greatest in these team fights. She has to chip away at them, and obviously with her item build, that makes sense, but this is where it gets scary. The fact that she's still being able to do enough, and now you got to figure that next item is going to be that Savage Mace or Wing Bow or just something really big here that's going to start putting out more and more damage from her. So, Hellborn team, that's going to be very difficult for them to deal with, and all the more reason why Vitriolic definitely needs to keep the pressure up, you would think.
Yeah, I mean, when Silhouette starts getting some damage items, it's going to really, really hurt, as you mentioned. That Shrunken Head has just really done wonders for her, actually, in these team fights. As I mentioned, there's so much AoE, so much stun, and so much just CC in general, and especially against this Parasite, who does have that level 5 Codex, I believe. It's so hard to see that. Oh, good, there he jumped out of a Wild Hunter. As well as the Portal Key, and now looking like a Shrunken Head is in the works, so he's got initiation on him, as well as pretty much every other hero on this team, except for maybe Plague and Luna. But, yeah, these Shrunken Heads are good. Once he gets some damage items, I believe Savage Mace, like you mentioned, would be probably the best decision here.
Yeah. I will say that the Hellborn team is pretty thankful. I almost said lucky, but not even lucky, because obviously it's a good play by them, but thankful that Polywog Priest has been really struggling with farm, because, going back to Nymphora and backdooring, Restoration Stone Polywog Priest, or even the Staff of the Master Polywog Priest, with the Nymphora to port him in and quickly help drop towers, obviously could be very, very devastating. So you only have to deal with the minimal amount of wards, but still, in fact, he's not even level 16 yet. But there goes the last outer tower, actually in the game, as the top one goes down in favor of the Hellborn team. So Legion side, though, making some counter pushing themselves. They got Hag and Torture pushing up that bottom lane. Silhouette was nearby, but nothing much more going to come of that. So yeah, all outer towers are officially dead now for both sides. So now it's just the bases that remain. Kongor, I'm not necessarily too sure on when he's going to be coming out, but I got to think it's in these next couple of minutes or so. And then, with the way this game is going, I'm sure Kongor is going to play yet a big role yet again here.
Yeah, and actually, a Shrunken Head now picked up on Nick O'K's on the Polywog Priest. Big pickup. In fact, I'm pretty sure Wretched Hag is in the works, or in the making of one right now. So that's going to be 4 heroes once she completes hers that have that Shrunken Head, and that's exactly the item that you need against this Hellborn team. There's really not much they can do once you pop the Shrunken Head. In fact, there's really nothing that they can do for that small duration that you have, that invulnerability. So when they have that, if they can time it to right when Vitriolic jumps. Oh, and actually Shrunken Head completed there. Oh, I don't know if that's the recipe. No, he does have the whole thing. So 4 out of the 5 heroes now have Shrunken Head on this MUFC team. That's going to be huge in this next upcoming team fight.
On that note as well, Torture and Silhouette, this is going to start, getting important to keep track of here as well. The Shrunken Head time left on them, amount of uses, and both Silhouette and Torture are actually down to 7 seconds. Still plenty of time, but obviously that's going to drop all the way down to 5 seconds eventually, depending on how the game plays out here. And that does start to get to a point where, rebuying a Shrunken Head could be valuable, so obviously we'll keep that in mind. But here we are, another aggressive push coming out from Vitriolic. You see Silhouette, she's at the top lane. She is going to port back, though, getting ready for this team fight. So Vitriolic, man, this is huge right now. Obviously, that's going to play a big factor on how this game may finish with this fight right here. You see Silhouette in the front lines even, as the Nullstone gets taken off from Aluna right there.
Their base tower is getting owned right now.
Yep. Oh, wow, it is, and they're going to lose it. They're going to lose it unless they port back right now. One person's porting back. They still might go down. It's going to go down. Bubbles does not get back in time. So, wow. I mean, that shows you just the power of cleaning up a lane. Oh, Nymphoid is going to port actually in the middle lane. They may catch some heroes here. Morax is going to get caught out of nowhere. Aluna's there, but you see Aluna's like, where am I going to go now? She does get tongue-tied by Polywog Priest. Good heads up, actually. And there's the kill to Morax. This is going to be long enough. Storm Spirit going to be used. There's a push forward from Silhouette as the Tablet of Command was used on Aluna. And she's just trying to get the hell out of there. Now, Moraxis did use his last buyback right there. He jumps back in, and this is a big fight, ladies and gentlemen. Shrunken Heads are being used. Bubbles getting locked down. He doesn't even get his Hellfire off just yet. You see that Codex to take out Wretched Hag. Silhouette in the midst of it all, though. Shrunken Head wearing off right there. Torture now. So much damage coming out from him, but he will eventually be silenced as a Plague. It was bouncing around. It's just Torture and Silhouette, and Torture will go down. Silhouette just forced to run away. Only Aluna dying right there for Vitriolic, so that was a big deal in favor of Vitriolic. Now, Torturer can use this last buyback if he finds it necessary. I don't think Vitriolic's going to be able to make a maximum counter push here, though, because of their base.
It's going to be hard. Yeah, they're going to have Bryce here sit here and defend. Unfortunately, Wretched Hag did not use her Shrunken Head that fight. That was a huge, huge deal. And in fact, you saw the power of the rest of the Shrunken Heads. They kind of did some initiation. They all used Shrunken Heads, and Bryce walked up there and was like, I can't do anything, guys. they're all magic immunity, and actually found him to kill on the CY there because she did not pump her Shrunken Head. Maybe she was CC or something, but that's a really big pickup and a really big deal. It's why they lost that team fight.
Yep. You do see Torture buyback, so the last buyback for her as well. There's that Shrunken Head Silhouette. They're going to try to get some kills and save the racks on top of that. Morax is in the front lines, getting locked down with the stuns. Does he have that Arcane Shield? Will it even be used right here? He is running away. There goes the Arcane Shield. And yes, he does get the Speed Burst from it because of the Agonizing Bond attempt, I'm guessing at least. And the port out, the Tree Grapple, not going to be enough. The stun. And look at Silhouette. She's actually trapped in the crevice right here. She will port out, though, to her illusion to be fine. So, they do save the melee racks, though, so that's a big deal. But again, look at the buyback situation. It is nearly non-existent overall for the Legion team. 3 heroes being completely out. Now, Moraxis is down as well over there at Zaxxerok for Vitriolic. So, man, this game is just coming down to quite the epic finish here. 45.5 minutes in. 33-20 hero kill advantage for Vitriolic, but obviously there's so many more stats to look at than just the hero kills. Kongor is up right now. This would be the second Kongor kill, so no bananas just yet, but still, that token of life, oh so crucial.
Yeah, and good warning right here from Wins. He realizes that Kongor is either up or is going to become up soon. I can't really tell from their vision, but that might spot it. That's where this Hellborn position is really going to come into play. Like these long turtle games where things are getting to really late game, Hellborn is so much more advantageous with that Kongor placement there. So they might be able to use that, put that token on the Miraxis as he does not have any more buybacks. But this could really be a good game for Vitrolic if they capitalize on the fact that 3 of the heroes on the leading side don't have any more buybacks, specifically this Hag. If they get a big kill on this Hag, who is doing a lot in his team fights now as a Shrunken Head, didn't use it last time, but that's unfortunate. If they get a kill onto her, that would be huge into pushing into base, because she is level 20, so her respawn timer is quite, is very high up there.
Yeah. Now, we've been stressing so much on the base of the Hellborn team and how, obviously, the Sacrificial Shine is completely exposed, at least on the top side now. Look at the Legion's team. World Tree, it has lost one of the towers. We haven't even mentioned that yet. But the bottom, just like the top, is cleared out here. The top in favor of the Legion team, that is. So that's something that they also now have to really keep in mind if you're MUFC, that you got to always think about at least having one person back there, just like TT Esports has been doing, whether it's a Luda or Parasite, as we saw earlier. Depending on the situation, of course. So, 5,500 gold saved up on Silhouette. This is what I talked about earlier as well. Now, obviously, he has more than enough money for at least the only buyback that he has left. When does he feel comfortable buying towards that next item, or is he just going to wait straight up for it? Whatever that may be, what do you think that should be? I mean, is it a Savage Mace, a Wing Bow? What do we see here?
Well, first of all, whatever he does decide to buy, he absolutely has to have enough buyback gold after that. So, he's got to add, onto whatever that cost is going to be. So if it's a Savage Mace, I think Savage Mace is 5,500, 5,400, something like that. So you're going to have something like 7,800 gold to be saved. Yeah. So expect to see some passive play, and actually I think that's what he should buy. Just raw damage, as you mentioned. Savage Mace would be good. He hasn't got a Shield Breaker in the 48 minutes allotted right now, so I don't see him going for that Shield Breaker right now. I think something like a Savage Mace. I wouldn't really like Geometer's Vein because, like I said, there's so much AoE. So I really think Savage Mace is the item to pick up. But I could also see him just manning up and buying it right now because he knows that 3 of his teammates do not have buybacks. If they die, it's pretty much almost game over.
Exactly. That's what I was going to bring up, too. So it really is a case. Do you do it? He isn't doing it yet. But if he does, of course, he will not have a buyback. But here we go. Vitriol, look, they are going to make a pushback. There's a jump from Parasite. Shrunken Head, though, activated on Torturer, and he's not doing anything with it. So that's a good bait right there. So Shrunken Head will be down for the next 50 seconds. But Polymorph brings the screen. We're going to jump in. Silhouette does get caught right away. Bad Blast coming out. Silhouette does finally get the Shrunken Head off, though. And she's trying to do as much damage as possible. Storm Spirit going to be used out on Morax. You saw the Plague bouncing around. Morax is still very likely going to drop. Yes, Morax will fall. But Silhouette, Storm Spirit at the last second, barely surviving. Aluna goes down. Great support from the teammates. Bubbles off to the side. He is able to shell serve port, but he ports right into a Sonar Scream hat trick coming out for CY right there on Wretched Hag. And Plague Rider has to port back to base. Big bat prize on Parasite. He did buy back, but an excellent hold once again from MUFC. Man, talk about great decision making. After the Shrunken Head use, they knew that if they gave them time to reset and then jump again on a Torturer, they would have been screwed probably. So they just said, screw it, we're going to be the aggressors, and it is still going, in fact, with an N4 port. But is this going to work out? Silhouette getting locked down again. The Storm Spirit coming into play, though. The portal key coming out from Bubbles. Parasite will go down yet again. He does have another buyback to use if he wants to use it right here. And there we go, in fact. There's the HON applied on a Plague Rider. Bubbles trying to take out Wretched Hag, and will get the kill. And vulnerability is used defensively right now by the Hellborn team, and then 4 is going to be picked off, and Silhouette will just run the hell on out of there. Oh my god, Silhouette bought a Doombringer! When the hell did that happen?
Oh my god.
Did she buy that before that must have happened just before the port.
Yeah.
I don't think she had it in the fight.
Right, no, she definitely had gold in that
crap.
fight, so... Oh my god. This game has been taken to the next level, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god.
This is our second
I hope he doesn't
Doombringer.
die for his sake.
Oh,
kiddo, I don't know about these items, man!
Oh, kiddo. Again, this is the same kiddo that played Tempest against TT Esports and went Restoration Stone instead of the safe route Shrunken Head, and there was definitely several cases in that game where that proved to be kind of a crucial moment. So I love the balls, man. I mean, this is awesome, but man, that is risky at its finest. Obviously, that's what Doombringer is. So.
I know, I'm surprised I didn't spot that when he bought it because there was so much stuff going on. Actually,
yeah.
Oh my god, he's got some aggression. Oh, see, oh my god, that makes my heart stop.
Yeah.
Plays like that where it's like not a sure kill, and it's very easy turn potential. Wow, like, it's so ballsy, but in the meantime here in the middle lane, the Glyph does come out to potentially save the racks here, and it might actually save those racks, that melee racks only has 36 HP on it, so wow, they do save it.
That is ridiculous. He also just bought a Whispering Helm, so he's acting like he doesn't have a buyback right now. I mean, that goes to what you were talking about. Is it a case of, I have a buyback, but the rest of my team doesn't? So, you know what? I might as well just go all out acting like I don't have a buyback and hope for the best. And, man, I love it. I mean, they are going to port up top once again with Polymark. Comes in, but the quick getaway with the deja vu on Aluno. And now this is interesting. You see the Hellflower team, everyone porting back, and here we go. This could be a big deal. Hellflower applied to Polywalk Priest, and Polywalk Priest is going to be stomped down. Obviously, Silhouette, she's actually already back at base. I believe she just left an illusion back there, so she is going to be fine. And
that's 60. But that's now 60 seconds of a time that they have where Polywalk Priest cannot fight. Has no buybacks. That was such a bad Nymph port. He Nymph ported right in the middle of the creep wave. Aluna had full vision of what was going on and ran away accordingly. So I definitely don't like that that port. He should have ported maybe something somewhere like a little bit more in fog or something,
Well, that on top of why is MUFC trying to backdoor? Honestly, I think that they can just keep standing their ground and allow Vtrl to keep pounding into them because they've proven that they can win these fights.
I agree, definitely. I mean, they have 4 Shrunken Heads on the team against a team that can only really do magic damage, so they have to wait until the Shrunken Heads are, not activated anymore. Silhouette's doing a ton of damage, you're right, they don't need to risk this and try to backdoor. I think they can fight this straight up.
Bubbles is going, speaking of backdoor, and trying to sneak in there, get the melee racks. In comes more access. They are going to get the melee rack, so it takes forever, but they finally accomplish it. And they're going to start getting back. We do see that quick pick and time out of Retro. Gets stricken off though. More access chopped him, but more access got stunned immediately. There's a bat blast, and more access will fall. Polygon goes down, and this is what exactly the Legion team needed right now. They hold their ground long enough. In comes an in for a port. Now Silhouette is going to be one of them. Yeah, she was one of them. Oh my God! Here's 4 players, 5 if you count the illusion. And they're going to go right for the sacrificial shrine. No buybacks are happening. And MUFC may very likely win the game right here, right now. We see Aluna getting ported into the well right there with the tongue-tied, or excuse me, the tablet, the tongue-tied on a Playground in the meantime. But this sacrificial shrine will fall, and MUFC will take game number 2, forcing a 3rd and final game. Wow, what a freaking finish.
Oh my God, I haven't seen a game like that in a long time. What an exciting game. I was really scared the way that kid was playing with that Doombringer, but you get a good pick off there. I mean, that just shows you the power, not necessarily of the Doombringer Silhouette doing so much damage. It's Nymph 4, guys. Nymph 4 port is so strong. You can really work good strategies around that, and they did. I mean, you get a pick off in the base, you go heal, takes all of 5 seconds to go heal, and bam, you're in the base. You throw down some Polywalk wards, you're hitting for close to 500 damage with Silhouette, and then you get that relentless Sobble that makes you attack even faster. Boy, they played that really well towards the end. It looked like a scary pickup, but it paid off.
This is definitely. This happens to be the second game we've seen a Doombringer in these last I think those a couple days ago where we saw another one. So, such the rarest item, even you could say, in the competitive on. But there are those fine moments where it actually can be considered a valuable item, and you can definitely argue that this is one of those moments. And Kiddo, man. Very risky, that's what that item is, but it did pay off. A very, very good play all around by MUFC. I just love the tenacity on their part, hanging in there as long as they did. And Vitriolic, and again, we were wondering in that game 1, was Vitriolic just simply that good, or was MUFC just not playing their game? And I think we definitely got an answer to that in the sense that MUFC, again, they showed here in game 2. This is not a team that we saw in game 1. Just the very next game, in fact, we see almost a completely different team. So still, a lot of questionable decisions, but they got the win. That's ultimately what matters, a W at the end of the day. And we are going to a 3rd and final game. So, Trelf, man, I mean, exciting stuff. One more game to come.
I'm excited, and I always love going to a Game 3 in a best-of-3 series. But I wanted to say, too, that Vitriol played very, very well, actually, that game. That game was really, they were on a timetable, and they had to kind of close in the game early. If you look at their heroes, they don't really have any physical damage late game. So they had to kind of end it early. It did go to late game, and ultimately MUFC did get the win with that Silhouette pick there, as well as Nymph 4 is just ultimate late game. So Vitriolic did play it as well as they could. I saw some really great play from them, specifically when they went on the Torture there in the mid lane, and he popped the Shrunken Head. They realized they can't do anything against these Shrunken Heads, so they backed up, let him waste the Shrunken Head. But unfortunately, some great plays by Nick O'K's there and Polywalk to go with the counter initiation and catch him off guard.
Yeah, just great heads up on his part. So here we are. Game number 3 around the corner, guys. Once again, stay tuned on Breaking CBK. Joining me is Trelf Amador. MUFC taking on Vitriolic Gaming. The 3rd and final game coming up.